In today's Final Touch, there is something special going on all over the UK's Isle of Man.
But it's not what it appears to be. Tiny whimsical buildings are popping up all over the island. The creations appear grand and majestic, but in reality, they're only about 15 inches tall. The fairy-like miniatures are the work of a Swedish art collective, Anonymous Mix. The artist drawed inspiration from everything from the Beatrix Potter to Disney, and it's fitting considering the island has a long history with fairies. The creators wanted their works to appear as if they'd have always. Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
15 inches tall. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 at 5 starts right now. Right now at 5, a teacher at Waterloo Elementary School is on administrative leave tonight. We'll tell you why.
How the Baraboo community is reacting after a photo of some high school students appearing to give a Nazi salute goes viral.
And we are live from Sun Prairie as the city holds a ceremonial ribbon cutting downtown after last summer's deadly explosion.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. The Waterloo School District has placed an elementary school teacher on administrative leave after an incident with a 5-year-old student.
The mother of the student says she saw on surveillance video the teacher dragging her son through the hallway. News 3's Adam Duxter spoke with the mother of the student today and joins us now with more. Adam?
Well, Eric and Susan, last week at Waterloo Elementary School, Catherine Lee found out her 5-year-old son, Romel, was dragged through the hallway by his teacher. Lee says last Thursday, a classmate of her son's told the staff at the school about what happened. The following day, she was shown security footage of the incident. She says the school assured her they were going to work with her and have placed the teacher on leave. Still, Lee says seeing her son being dragged by his teacher on video is something she can't take.
He grabs his right hand and he continues to walk as he's on his knees. Totally unacceptable, period.
Now, Waterloo police have confirmed there is an investigation open looking into the actions of the teacher in question. I contacted the school for comment today, and they declined to go on camera, but said in a statement they consider these allegations a serious matter and that the actions of one individual do not reflect the greater good that exists within the district.
Adam Duxter in the newsroom. Adam, thank you.
Nearly 72 hours now after the photo in Baraboo went viral, the community is reeling.
The picture of the teenagers appearing to do a Nazi salute, as you know, has spread all over the world. But as Keely Arthur found, the folks back home in Baraboo are handling it, Keely.
That's right. Residents want people to know Baraboo is so much more than that now infamous photo, appearing to show a significant number of male Baraboo high school students making a Nazi salute. Now, since the photo surfaced, we've talked to some of the students who say they are innocent. The photographer of the photo says he told the students to make a, quote, hi sign. But many others say there is no mistaking that Nazi salute. So far, more than 8,000 people have signed a petition calling for the suspension of students in the photo. We caught up with a Baraboo resident. He did not sign the petition, but says he was troubled by the picture.
There's no place in this world for hate. We're all on this planet trying to get by, and for someone to do something so dramatic and not knowing the history behind it, it's very sad.
A big change for a place that U.S. News and World Report ranked on its list of up-and-coming American cities just last year. And coming up on News 3 at 6, we asked people to share what they think makes Baraboo great. And they shared a lot of positive things even during this very negative time.
We'll see you at 6. Thanks, Keely.
Thanks, Keely. Let's get a look at your first alert weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us. He's in the Weather Center. Gary?
Well, pretty quiet out there today. We had lots of sunshine. Temperature is not quite as cold, but we are watching a weather system that could bring us some light snow by Friday night into Saturday morning. Visible cloud track right now, pretty quiet. You can see just a few clouds in far northern Wisconsin. Other than that, the state is pretty much clear. Doppler track shows any snow north of Lake Superior, so things very quiet across southern Wisconsin. It was cold this morning. Here in Madison, we dropped to 13 degrees. Temperatures were in the single digits north of the Dells. High temperatures so far today, a little warmer than yesterday, not by much, 33 in Madison, closer to 40 near the Mississippi River. Near Lake Michigan, temperatures still right around the freezing mark or a little bit below. Current temperatures range from 30 in Madison to the low 30s to the west of town and upper 20s to the east. Wind chills right now are generally in the lower to middle 20s. By tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to drop into the lower 20s. Look for clear skies overnight. Tomorrow, look for partly sunny skies. Our high temperature will top out at 41 degrees. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. The FBI is examining additional surveillance video taken from an expanded area around the Wisconsin home where a couple was shot and killed and their daughter was apparently abducted. A month ago now, sheriff's deputies responded to that 911 call near Barron and found James and Denise Kloss shot dead inside their home. Investigators believe their daughter, 13-year-old Jamie Kloss, was abducted. Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald says that about 80 surveillance videos were initially collected from businesses and other locations, and that the FBI last week expanded the perimeter of surveillance video collection beyond Barron County as they search for clues in Jamie's disappearance. Fitzgerald says investigators have cleared more than 2,300 tips in that case.
A Columbia County prison guard is charged after being accused of abusing an inmate. Court records show 63-year-old Russell Goldsmith of Westfield is charged with 2 counts. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office said they received a request from the Department of Corrections to investigate a use of force complaint at Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage in October. Detectives say the inmate was injured and had to receive medical treatment after the incident. Goldsmith is expected to be back in court in January. Sun Prairie is revisiting the deadly explosion today as the city reopens part of Main Street that was damaged by the heat of the fire.
News 3's Amy Reed joins us now from downtown Sun Prairie, where a ceremony wrapped up a short time ago. Amy?
The ceremony was just back here on this freshly paved section of Main Street. One of the speakers said that the heat from the explosion actually damaged this road so much that it needed to be replaced, and there's still much more healing that needs to be done. The mayor and the chief of the fire department spoke about how the community made it through this horrible event, and now how it's time to move on. They said the time for grieving is done, and now it's time to focus on building each other up and being there for those who need it. A concern both of them addressed was whether or not it has been enough time and if moving on means we won't remember, but they both agreed this is something that will stick with the community for a long time, especially since there's still so much work that needs to be done to get the infrastructure back the way that it was. Back to you.
Amy Reed in Sun Prairie. Now, Amy, thank you.
The future of a major state employer is uncertain tonight.
As some lawmakers fight for their plan to keep Kimberly-Clark in northeastern Wisconsin, others aren't sure it's the best path forward. Our Rose Schmidt joins us to tell us the next steps here, Rose.
Well, a Kimberly-Clark vice president says the plan in question could maintain current jobs, add up to 52 more jobs, and possibly invest up to $500 million in the facility over the next 15 years. But the question is, can lawmakers find the votes to get there? A business fixture in the Fox Valley is facing a future in doubt.
It's a company that's been in the state for well over 100 years.
Kimberly-Clark officials say the company will stay if it gets help from the state, and some lawmakers are pushing for at least $100 million in incentives.
We have an opportunity here in the Senate in extraordinary session to come in and close the circle, finish the deal, and keep this iconic company here in Wisconsin.
Back in January, Kimberly-Clark announced plans to close its plant in Fox Crossing, but company leaders are calling the bill a game changer, saying they're confident passing it would keep 390 workers employed.
If we receive the incentives as outlined in AB 963, we will keep this plant open.
The state assembly already passed the plan. The largest obstacle, though, not all Republican senators are on board.
I am not convinced that this is the right thing for the state to do.
Senator Luther Olson is questioning why the company decided to close in the first place and whether $100 million is enough to sustain them. At least 3 other Republicans are against it, meaning supporters are calling on Democrats to back it.
Here you are today at the last second, asking Democrats to vote for something that we had absolutely no say in.
Conservative groups have called the plan a corporate getaway, but the Republican authors are fighting back.
I would just like to highlight that this is not Foxconn.
And while the terms of the Foxconn deal are similar to this plan, the bill's authors argue Kimberly-Clark is not a foreign company, but one with Wisconsin roots. So that's why they want to keep it here.
All right, we'll see what happens. Rose Schmidt joining us. Rose, thank you.
Thank you, Rose. The $630 million 2019 Dane County budget was signed today. It includes investments in criminal justice reform, mental health services, housing, and youth trauma. But the county portion of your property taxes will actually go down. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi's budget proposal, released in October, makes investments in flood recovery and resilience, in infrastructure and mental health crisis response. The Dane County Board added to the budget and included additional funding for front-end justice initiatives, affordable housing, and lake quality.
This budget builds on an agenda that has served as a blueprint for our county's success. It continues to invest in people, places, and our quality of life.
The county share of property taxes on the average Madison home is estimated to decline $8.10 under the budget proposal. For a complete list of what's included in the county budget, we have that up on channel3000.com.
Governor Scott Walker says he has not spoken with the media since his election defeat out of, quote, decency. The governor posted on Facebook today that, quote, the decent thing to do is to let Governor-elect Tony Evers have his time to talk about his transition. Governor Walker says he has spoken with Evers, his staff, and cabinet, attended a memorial service for a longtime Milwaukee community leader, attended the Packers game, and helped his mother move into a new apartment. He says he'll speak to reporters, quote, at some point in the future.
Starting Saturday, the Goodman Community Center will distribute Thanksgiving baskets to thousands of families in need. WISC-TV is proud once again to partner with the Goodman Community Center and the UW Athletic Department this year. We hope to provide baskets with all the food necessary for a traditional Thanksgiving meal. Right now, we need everything from frozen turkeys, stuffing mix, and canned vegetables, basically all the fixings. And it's as easy as a cash donation if that's an easier way to contribute. It gives the Goodman Center the means to buy all the turkeys and perishable items in bulk at discounted rates. And it also takes a lot of volunteers to make Thanksgiving baskets a success.
Frozen turkeys are always the big thing. It's a little bit of a higher dollar item and it's a little bit harder to get here. So, but each year we rely on individuals in the community who show up with 1 and 2 and 3 turkeys, and we're confident that we'll get there. We're always a little nervous this time of the week because there aren't very many turkeys here yet, and there's 3,500 that have got to leave here by Tuesday afternoon.
The Goodman Community Center will be taking donations over the next few days. For details on dates and times, or if you'd like to get involved, just check out our website, channel3000.com.
More to come tonight on News 3 at 5. Up next, the wildfires continue to burn in California. What victims of the Camp Fire, that's in Northern California, what they're saying is the cause of that fire.
And we'll tell you which member of the Trump administration that the First Lady is asking to be fired.
And on Wall Street, 4 straight days now in the red for the Dow, off 206 points. The Nasdaq lost 65, the S&P 500 down 21. We'll be right back. Firefighters are gaining ground against 2 deadly wildfires burning in California.
The Woolsey fire in the southern part of the state is about half contained after burning nearly 100,000 acres. The cause remains under investigation. Meanwhile, about 24 victims of the Camp Fire in Northern California are blaming a utility company for starting the blaze. A lawsuit was filed in San Francisco against Pacific Gas and Electric Company for failing to maintain its power lines.
The evidence is quite clear that this fire was caused by a PG&E transmission line, and PG&E needs to be held accountable.
PG&E acknowledged the legal battle, stating the safety of our customers and the communities we serve are our highest priority. The Camp Fire is now the state's deadliest and most destructive fire in history. A Mississippi Highway Patrol spokesman says 2 people are dead and 44 others have been hurt aboard a tour bus that overturned on an icy highway in the northern part of the state near Memphis. A trooper with the Mississippi Highway Patrol says the bus was carrying 46 people and the crash was weather-related. He said the injured were being taken to several hospitals and were suffering a wide variety of injuries. The trooper says the bus was southbound, heading from Huntsville, Alabama to Tunica, Mississippi when it crashed.
First Lady Melania Trump wants Deputy National Security Advisor Myra Ricardel to be fired. The First Lady's office issued a statement Tuesday saying Ricardel, quote, no longer deserves the honor of serving in this White House. While sources tell CBS News Mrs. Trump doesn't know Ricardel personally, she reportedly clashed with the First Lady's staff during last month's trip to Africa over plane seating arrangements and national security resources. The White House confirmed she is still working today. Meanwhile, White House sources say Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is on her way out, but how and when she leaves remain up in the air.
A week after the midterm election, Congress has returned with freshman members in town for orientation. The New Democrats are having to navigate a caucus divided over Leader Nancy Pelosi's bid for Speaker. They won't pick their leaders until later this month. Republicans chose current Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy as the new Minority Leader. On the other side of the Capitol, Senator Mitch McConnell won another term as Majority Leader. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer also won another term at his post. The current lame duck Congress's top priority is avoiding a government shutdown after December 7th.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama kicked off her book tour yesterday in her hometown of Chicago. Her highly anticipated book, Becoming, is a memoir which covers topics from a miscarriage to Mrs. Obama's time in the White House. Most notably, Mrs. Obama makes no secret of her feelings for the man now occupying her husband's old office, writing, quote, Donald Trump, with his loud and reckless innuendos, was putting my family's safety at risk, and for this, I'd never forgive him.
It seems that whatever the Obama administration has done, it seems the current administration wants to undo. How do you handle that when you look at the work that you all have done?
You know, the truth is that the presidency's isn't ours to own, you know? It's the people's job.
And last week, when asked about the book, President Trump told reporters the former First Lady got paid a lot of money to write the book and that a little controversy is to be expected.
Let's head out to the weather patio. Gary is watching the weather. Hi, Gary.
Hi. Pretty quiet out here right now. The winds are down. Even though we had plenty of sunshine today, now that the sun is down, the temperatures are going to fall off pretty quickly. But with winds out of the south, it won't be quite as cold. Let's start out, first of all, our 2019 Wisconsin weather calendar is now available for purchase. You can send $13 to WISC-TV 3 weather calendar, 7025 Raymond Road, Madison, 53719, or you can order them online at madisonmagazine.com/weather-calendar. Now, as we look at the alert day that we have in place, we added one for Saturday, mainly in the morning, and that's for light snow that will begin Friday night. Could be mixed a little bit of freezing drizzle, and then probably ending at some point on Saturday morning. Right now, it looks like the best chances for any accumulating snow will be closer toward the Illinois state line, maybe around 2 inches there. The snow potential from our RPM computer model shows right around 2 inches near the Illinois state line, around an inch or just a tad higher in Madison, and then lesser amounts farther to the north. As we look at Doppler track, things very quiet right now. Skies have been clear and no snow here in the Madison area, obviously. The Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison showing the Capitol all lit up. Our high today, 33 degrees, still well below the average high of 45, but an improvement over yesterday. Low temperature of 13, very chilly this morning. But right now we're at 30 degrees. Skies are clear. Winds are out of the south at 7 miles per hour. And with the wind chill of 23, a little more tolerable than it was at this time yesterday. Snow depth continues around 6 inches in the northern portion of the UP of Michigan, into parts of north central Wisconsin, a couple of inches on the ground north of Eau Claire and north of Green Bay. But the southern part of the state right now snow free. Winds, though, are out of the south, so you can see that we're not getting that wind off of the snowpack, and that's why temperatures will moderate over the next couple of days. This morning, low temperatures were in the single digits, above and below zero in a couple of spots in far northern Wisconsin, and generally in the lower teens across the state. But right now, temperatures range from the mid to upper 30s in western Wisconsin to the upper 20s in the eastern portions of the state, and wind chills, like I say, a little more tolerable in the lower to middle 20s. On weather track, you can see plenty of clouds to our north and also to our south. Big weather system bringing some snow on the northern portion of that system into parts of Kentucky, with rain in the southeastern portion of the nation. As we zoom back into the Midwest, you can see the system up to the north is kind of separated from the one in the south. And we're in between with a weak area of high pressure that extends from Missouri into Michigan. So that's keeping us relatively quiet. To the west, the winds become a little more southerly, and temperatures are in the 50s and 60s over the western high plains, whereas we're still in the 20s and 30s. Now, compared to 24 hours ago, our temperatures have been trending up. Of course, when you're as cold as we were the last couple of days, you've got no place to go but up, but at least it's feeling a little more tolerable. Our forecast for tonight calls for mostly clear skies, not as cold, low temperature dropping to 21. For tomorrow, partly sunny and a little milder as well, with a high temperature of 41. As we look at future track, you can see generally clear skies for tonight, temperatures dropping into the lower 20s by morning. Tomorrow, look for high temperatures to top out in the lower 40s. A little more cloud cover for tomorrow night. That'll keep low temperatures up into the upper 20s, and then Friday will be variably cloudy with high temperatures eventually topping out around the 40-degree mark. But thicker clouds will arrive Friday night into Saturday. That could bring that light snow, again, perhaps around 2 inches near the Illinois state line, lesser amounts farther to the north. As we look at the 7 to 10-day forecast, those temperatures turn cold again once the snow ends on Saturday morning. Look for quiet conditions leading up to the Thanksgiving holiday. Some rain now late in the day on Thursday into Thursday night, and then some showers on Black Friday, maybe mixing with snow before ending Friday night. As we look at first alert traffic, have some slowdowns on the belt line around Park Street. Traffic just within the last couple of minutes starting to pick up there, but it's still moving fairly slow. We're seeing delays in the eastbound direction from about John Nolan Drive back to Verona Road, westbound from around Fish Hatchery Road over toward Monona Drive. Right now, travel times 31 minutes in the eastbound direction from University Avenue to the interstate, 24 minutes back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, the usual 28 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990, almost 20 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and on US 151 to Sun Prairie. That's your first alert traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Scammers are using gift cards again to steal victims' money. We'll tell you how to avoid these scams after a short break. Gift cards are popular around the holidays, but it's also an easy way for criminals to steal your money.
The government is seeing a rising number of cases where scam artists are convincing victims to pay them off with a gift card. Laura Podesta reports.
The reason of this call is to inform you that IRS is filing lawsuit against you.
Whether it's a con artist impersonating an IRS agent or a tech support scammer looking for payment to fix your computer, fraudsters are turning to gift cards to get your money.
It seems so real that I never even thought about a scam.
In December, David Tomasini told us how he received a call from someone posing as a lawyer. The caller said Tomasini's grandson was in jail and needed bail money. As instructed, he bought $3,000 worth of gift cards.
Anyone who tells you to pay with a gift card is a scammer. And once you've shared the gift card number and PIN, your money is probably gone.
The Federal Trade Commission is warning consumers that more con artists are demanding this type of payment, often asking for iTunes, Google Play, or Amazon gift cards, which can be found in countless stores.
Gift cards are great for con artists for 3 reasons. First of all, it's almost impossible for a consumer to reverse the transaction. Second of all, it's quick. It's very quick for the con artist. And third, it lets the con artist stay anonymous.
The FTC's Monica Vaca says in 2015, consumers lost $20 million in scams where gift card payments were involved. In just the first 9 months of this year, that number ballooned to $53 million.
So if somebody calls you up and demands that you pay with a gift card, hang up. That is a scam.
If you have paid with a gift card, contact the company that issued the card right away.
The FTC says in some cases, you may be able to reverse the payment. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment.
All is quiet outside tonight.
Yeah, cold today, but there wasn't as much wind. We had some sunshine, so it wasn't too bad. But temperatures are starting to drop now that the sun is down. Here in Madison, we're at 30 degrees. It's already in the 20s to our east, lower 30s to the west. Wind chills right now make it feel like it's in the mid to upper 20s. Tomorrow, look for a high of 41, about 40 on Friday. Alert day for Saturday, though. Light snow in the morning, maybe mixed with some freezing drizzle. Could be an inch or two of accumulation. Then cold for the rest of the weekend. Heading up toward Thanksgiving, should be quiet. Some showers late Thanksgiving into Friday, and then colder for the weekend.
Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 at 6.